In the cold emptiness of old, the vast nothing between two caps, where our first beings were born. Between the north of Niflheim, the sparks that scorch from southern Muspelheim, in the empty Ginnungagap, a giant of frost and rime did rise from the Ymir, strange liquid that sourced the first being of the universe. First the giant, Ymir, but then Ymir did make more. Cow that creates, Authumbla is born. Ymir made more kin from the sweat that eked out of his skin. As he drank the cow's milk, the cow did find a being encased in ice. He be named Buri, born of ice. He begot Bor, and so the Aesir line is born. But I, Bestla, wife to Bor, am not of Aesir blood. I am of the Jotun line, a frost giant from the first Ymir, my kin begot by sweat on his skin. But we call the giant Urgelmir. And so my sons were blessed to us. Bestla and Bor. First the eldest, mighty and strong, Odin be his name. Then came Vili, bright of wit, and finally V, last of three. As my sons grew older, they grew stronger and wiser. Battles between giant and gods ongoing, but the mightiest of all, Ymir, first in existence, stood tall above the rest. Father to the giants, but the first of us all, was not kind nor wise. From nothing must first come chaos. Ymir was chaos in flesh form, too big for life in the gap. He filled too much space. But order comes once chaos rises, and so my sons looked upon the Ginnungagap and all that now filled it, from the northern coals of Niflheim to the scorching sparks of Muspelheim, the giants in the empty gap between. I saw it in their eyes, as they looked at the might of Ymir, the body of the giant, the vast flesh before them, and the spread of emptiness that surrounded us all. Plots and plans did begin to swell inside the minds of my fine boys. And so they trained and waited, watched the chaos continue until they could watch no more. Odin, Vili, V, my sons all three, came at the giant from different sides, caught him unaware and surprised, cut at his flesh, hacked at the fingers that tried to strike back. But blood spilt from the slashes he'd already endured. Vili and V lunged at his legs, knocking him down to fall to his back. Their swords sliced his skin, revealing more rivers of red. Ymir screamed into the vast void. My sons continued their assault. More blood pooled and poured out, gushing around the Ginnungagap. But my boys did not stop, for they did not see the rising. The blood they had spilt could not be stopped, and so Ginnungagap began to fill. Giants all began to swim, splashing, spewing their father's blood. One by one their heads fell, sinking low beneath the blood seas. Their cries lost in Ymir's screams, all but Bergelmir and his beloved, for I spotted their eager escape and watched their sailboat slip away. My sons did not give up, they continued on their course, for they feared the fate they would face should Ymir still survive and heal. But the wails of anger and pain began to wane and subside with the rush of his blood. Ymir's life force drained out. His screams became whimpers until his last howl hollowed, becoming his last exhaled breath. Ymir, Urgelmir, father of all Jotun, his frost giants near gone, perished at the hands of my sons. Together with his brood, all but Bergelmir, son of Thrudgelmir, the five-headed, last of the Jotun in this age. For as I watched the scene, the blood rivers ran over me. I was caught in the floods, my husband by my side. We let the blood into our lungs and gave our lives for our sons. For this was not an end, but a new beginning. Nothing can truly be destroyed. Death must come to make way for new life. My sons were building a bright future. I only wished I had lived to see it. But sacrifices must be made. The cycle must start.